What's up, tea drinkers? Who's ready to spill? Welcome to The Tea with KG, hosted by your girl, Kaylee Grace. Here you'll find your weekly boost of real talk mixed with laughter, healing, and all of those vulnerable, messy moments in between. The Tea with KG is a safe space for you to show up exactly as you are. We are here to share real-life stories from around the globe and be a community of love, joy, and celebrating life. This is a real deal show, so there will be coarse language and sensitive topics discussed. The most beautiful stories oftentimes emerge from the darkest of places, and we're here to explore it all. There's room for everyone at this tea time, so grab your drink of choice, spark it up, or just relax and soak it up. Cheers, and let's spill. What's up, tea drinkers? We are back with another episode of The Tea with KG. I'm your host, Kaylee Grace, and I have another amazing guest joining us this week, the beautiful Mallory Paul, joining us from the East Coast. What up?
Hey.
Yay, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for taking time to join us today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh my gosh, yes. Val and I have known each other for forever. We're both from good old Miramichi, New Brunswick. So she's a sweetheart, beautiful soul inside and out. And she has a really, really powerful story to share with us today. But we'll start with the who are you and what do you do?
Hi. Okay. Hi. My name's Mallory. I'm working over at the high school in Sunny Corner. The First Nations Cultural Coordinator. It's a mouthful.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it though. Like it's awesome. But right now, throughout the summer, I help my dad. He has like a kayak rental, like tourism thing.
Fun.
So I pretty much get paid to kayak down the river, like.
That's my dream. Oh my God. That's like the best.
Like,
That would be the yeah, that would be like the best therapy. You get to be in nature every day on the water. Oh my God.
So
Like a dream.
awesome. But yeah,
I love
that's
that.
pretty much me in a nutshell.
That's amazing. I love that. So as I mentioned, Mal's going to be sharing some of her deep, close to her heart, vulnerable, raw story, and I'm just so honored that you're allowing me to share it with the world because, like I said a million times on these podcasts, I just feel like by sharing our stories and being vulnerable and open and showing, the parts of us that maybe aren't the pretty parts. Like, I think that's how we connect and how we get more compassion for each other. Like, it's like a little less judgment, a little more compassion. That's the way I see it.
And like I find like social media is such like everybody goes on there and it's like you compare, like I'm bad for it. I compare myself to everybody, right? And it's so like, I don't know, it's hard sometimes. So with my like journey, my story, like everything, I think it's so important to be real and upfront and because there's so many people that are like me that feel the same feelings that I felt, like ashamed and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like,
Oh, 100%.
right.
And that's it. And like when that shame takes over, and I felt that way before with traumas from my past, and you just feel all these things, and it's like the yucky feeling. And it's like, you know what? No, there are people out there who can connect, who have maybe been through something similar, and it's not an ugly thing. It's a thing that can be shared and can be, the light comes from the dark, and we all have dark and light, and we have to embrace both, and that's how we grow. So I love that you share your journey. So I guess we'll get right into it, girl.
Okay.
Give us the story.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Okay. So I'm a grateful recovering addict. Goodness gracious. It took me probably like only within the last 6 years or so that I actually like admitted to myself that I was an addict. Like I kind of knew in the back of my head, but I don't know, when you're young and you're partying and you just kind of think it's a normal thing. But like I think back to like my high school days when I would go to a party and I would get shit faced and black out. Like there was no like 1 minute I was fine and then the next minute I don't remember how I got home and I'm like, well, is this normal? Like I didn't know, right? Like
oh, totally. I can totally relate to that because like exactly like you said, when you're young and you're partying, and I feel like too, like we're from a small town, so like there's not a lot to do. So that's what we would do. We would
get together with your friends and have drinks and party and have a good
Yeah.
time. So I
Yeah.
totally get that.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I started at a pretty young age, just like experimenting with drinking first, and then the drinks eventually led to drugs, and everything just kind of like my personality is like addictive in every sense of the way, right? Like whether it's like the food or like the gym or drugs or alcohol, like it doesn't matter. Whatever makes me feel good, I'm like balls to the wall, 100%. Like there's
Yep.
no
Let me
like,
chase that. Yeah.
right? Like I want that good feeling all the time. Like so for me, like I don't know, it just the drugs at the time made me feel this euphoria that I've never experienced before, right? And it was just I loved it, and I just went full tilt. So yeah, so I guess for a few years I abused drugs. Well, at first it was the alcohol. I'm an alcoholic
Yeah.
as well. Um, but when I found the drugs, it kind of like I resonate more as an addict, like than an alcoholic. I'm both for sure, but um, yeah, when I got pregnant, I quit everything, and I was like super healthy, all this stuff. Well, I love food though, so I gained like
Oh,
8 pounds.
girl, preach. I am such a foodie. I'm like, I just love it. It just brings me so much joy. So I feel that.
Right? Like I'm like eating every time I eat, I'm just like, like eating,
Legit.
like
The Winnie the Pooh bear dance,
yeah,
like that is my food dance. Like I am so
yeah, for
excited.
real. So when I had the kids, I was clean still for probably about 3 or 4 months when I was breastfeeding. Once I stopped breastfeeding my daughter, I had her in 2011. Um, that's when I started dabbling into the drugs and the alcohol again. And then, like since then, since 2011, I've pretty much been like an active user. Not, not, not crazy bad, like, but I was still like, it was recreational or whatever.
Yeah, you dabbled. Yeah.
Right? I did that up
Hmm.
until like I think 2017 was when I really like I was like, okay, like my life's kind of spiraling out of control a little bit. I became a really, really heavy cocaine user um, after I had my daughter, and it's a really crazy expensive habit. So
Hmm.
um, I found another drug, which is crystal meth, which is crazy. Like it's like an epidemic, man. It's so the amount of the suffering addicts like from that drug alone is like it's mind blowing. It's heartbreaking. Like,
Yeah.
but it was so much cheaper, and it gave me the same like euphoric feeling. And but meth, I find it's so different because it affects people differently. Like
Right.
some people it really like they get the real paranoia feeling. Like they, I don't know. It's just I for myself, at the end of my using days, it was mostly just to get me through the day, like
Right. Yep.
to be able to function as like a somewhat normal human being, I guess. I never really
Hmm.
got like high from it, but uh,
Right.
I was able to like stay up throughout the day to do whatever needed to be done, right? So
Yeah. Did
I don't
you
know.
find that with your usage, did anything ever trigger you back to going into it, or was it just kind of just random?
It's kind of hard to say, I guess. So I quit using meth February 2020. So that
Hmm.
was like right at the beginning of like the pandemic and like everything was like shutting down.
Yeah.
I
Oh
remember
man,
thinking, like,
crazy.
oh my God, like I'm trying to give up this drug that I love so much. And
Mhm.
they expect me to sit home by myself, like don't reach out for support kind of thing. Like it was like
Isolated.
right. And I was
Yeah.
like, this
Yeah.
is like the a user's perfect like environment. Like sit at home by yourself.
Yeah.
Like don't have you have like you have to stay home. And at the time
Yep.
I was like, man, like this would be the perfect opportunity to like just sit there
Hmm.
and sit home and get high all day. Like my parents can't come over. Like I don't have to worry about anybody
Yeah.
stopping in. Like but anyways, I got close to 17 months in. I
Wow.
relapsed. So I quit February 13th, 2020, and I relapsed July 11th of last year.
Okay.
So, I'm not actually, well, when I quit in 2020, I had found a really good support group, like amazing,
Yeah.
beautiful fucking people. Like they were exactly like me. They wanted everything that I wanted in life. And like I would see them and I'm like, man, like, how do I get that? Like, how do I get that
Yeah.
serenity? Like, I want it. I want all of it. Like, but as an addict,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so like, I want that instant gratification, right? Like
Yes.
I like it, I want it, and I want it now. But
Yep.
there's so much work to be put into recovery, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not it's not easy, but it's
No.
fucking worth it. Excuse my
Yes.
language,
Right?
but
No, girl, let the F-bombs fly. It's all good. But I feel like that's so true. You say that. Even with healing in general, it is not like this. It is like the ebbs
yeah,
and flows. It is
totally.
like a wave. I'm like, let's just ride the wave. You don't know what's coming next. And I can totally relate to that with my healing from different traumas. It's just like you
Yeah,
think maybe I don't ever, healing's not linear. It's never really over. But like you think, okay, cool. Like I kind of got past that. And then something happens and it's
life
like, nope.
happens,
Yes.
slaps you in the face, and it's like brings you back
Yep.
to reality. And
Slaps
yeah,
you
for sure.
real good.
Right? Like, and like I just like for myself, like when I'm actively using, I'm so self-centered. I'm like the world revolves around me, like all this, like you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's so sad to like think that like when I was using, if something bad was to happen, I'm like, oh fuck, like why does this person have to do this and why can't it be on my time? Or like just like
Hmm.
I want like I said, I'm selfish, I'm self-centered, so I want whatever I want it now. And like everybody
Hmm.
has to jump for me. Like when
Right.
I snap my fingers,
Go.
I want it, right? But so when I got sober, it was so like such a spiritual thing for me because like it really gave me time to like focus on me and like I
Yeah.
picked out all of my like character defects. Like I worked the steps. I found NA and I
Yeah.
worked the steps and it's amazing to like really sit there and like it forces you
Hmm.
to really look at yourself and
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
right and like
And get
acknowledge
real with yourself.
yeah
Yeah.
like and take accountability for your
Yeah.
actions and the parts that I played in my life and stuff and the
Hmm.
complete wreckage like my life was crazy like well
Yeah.
I lost like I was married obviously you know that but um my marriage failed due to drug and alcohol use so it's really like that was that for me when I found recovery last year. That was hard. That was a hard pill to swallow because we
Yeah.
separated when I was in the middle of my active addiction. And at the time, like I was like, I don't give a fuck, blah blah blah. Like like it was. I was really
Mhm.
crystal meth for me. Made me allowed me to push my emotions so far down. Like
Yes.
I
You could
I
numb those emotions.
yes, like
Yeah.
totally like and I still felt and I still cried and whatever, but it was
Hmm.
nothing like compared to what sober me would feel like. So
Yeah. And when you actually sit with those feelings without like distracting or
and
numbing or anything,
whew,
oh, it
it's
is the
uncomfortable.
worst. It's so uncomfortable. Like you said earlier, so worth it. Cause I find too,
Yes.
oh my God, I'm having flashes of like some of like me literally like laying on the floor, bawling, crying, just like stuff everywhere. But I knew I was like, I need to sit with this because I've tried to numb these feelings and it doesn't work. It comes
Right?
back to bite you in the
Yes.
ass. So deal with it now. And I find with time, it gets a little easier to sit with certain feelings. I'm like, okay, like this still hurts, but I know I'm gonna get through it. So
Yeah.
I feel you on that, girl. It's so hard to sit with
Oh
it.
my goodness. Like I like when I had quit in 2020, it took me a solid 6 months before I woke up in the morning and that wasn't the first thing I thought about. I didn't think about using like, but 6 months of like crying every day and just like, I was like, when is this going to end? Like, when is it going to stop? Like,
Yeah.
so there was one day I remember I woke up and it was like probably like 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't think about using yet. Like, what the fuck? It works. Like, it was, oh my God. And I remember like ran to my parents' house and I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was like
Guess
hours
what?
before I thought about it today. Like,
That's amazing. And
oh
celebrating
God.
those wins, I think, is so important because, like, I know for
100%.
me, I don't celebrate myself enough. And I'm like, why don't, in general, us as people, why don't we celebrate our wins, no matter how big, no matter how small? I love that you like ran to your parents. You're like, guess what, guys?
Yeah, like it was like, well, because I mean, every morning I'd wake up and I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Like, I have to fight these feelings every day. Like, cause I'm going to die like an addict, right? Like I'm always going to be an addict, whether I'm actively using or in recovery. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
this is me, this is who I am. And if I don't work on myself every day, like then I fall back into the
Those
old
habits.
routine. Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's just
it's so true. Like I can relate when I take myself, like let's say like I'm very spiritual as well, and like I have different practices I do, and they keep me on a good in alignment with my highest purpose. And when I take a step back from those, just because life, life
right.
happens, it really throws me off. And I found lately my mental health and just everything, I could just feel it like not great. And I'm like, what is going on? Because, like, I'm in a beautiful, healthy relationship. I love where I live. All those things are in alignment, but there's obviously little things that aren't. And
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, have you been doing this, and this? No, maybe start there because your basics, it's like your base. You have to be good at your foundation or the
Yeah.
rest crumbles.
It's, oh,
So
100%. Like your foundation is like, it needs to be solid, right? Like,
yeah.
When I did relapse, like you just reminded me, like, I could feel my relapse coming, months before it actually happened. Like I stopped, going to my meetings. I stopped, reaching out to my sponsor. I stopped telling people that, I'm hurting and I need help. I just tried to like white knuckle it the whole way. And
yeah, you kind of like withdrew back in a little bit.
like total isolation again. So like, when it did happen, I drank first, and then I felt like total fuck. Oh my God, I felt so bad. And I like hid in my house the whole day. And actually, I have it all, like, it's so funny. I have it all written down in my journal. I write a journal. I think that's so freaking important. Oh my God.
Preach,
Love
girl.
Like, I go
it's
back.
Such a good practice.
Yes.
Because you can get everything out and there's no judgment. Just get it on the paper.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I was reading back on like the couple months leading up to my relapse, and it was just like my whole attitude changed. I stopped being grateful for things like, stopped being grateful for a morning coffee or a place to like
right.
Like
right. That coffee, girl, that's like the highlight of my morning. I feel that.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, like my whole mentality kind of shifted, and I was kind of in a bad place. I was having a hard time, like in my personal life. There was a lot of shit going on, and I was trying to like carry this huge load by myself without reaching out for help. And then one thing led to another, and I relapsed. And well, actually, with the drinking, I had almost 4 years in without drinking.
Wow.
I know. And then I went all down the drain, and the next day, like 2 days after I drank, I switched to back to meth. And it's been literally like a downward spiral since. I have 6 weeks clean today.
Woo! Yes, honey. Let's celebrate that, everybody. Yes.
Yeah,
good for you.
And it's different this time. I went to detox 6 weeks ago in Fredericton.
How was
first
that?
detox. It was really good. It was, oh my God, like I was so scared to go, which is so stupid because my reasoning for not going to detox like long time ago was because like it's crazy, but this is how my brain thinks. But like for meth users, you don't physically withdraw from the drug.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
Like there's no shakes, there's no sickness, there's crankiness, irritability, and tired. Like that's pretty much all for myself anyways. But so I was like, what am I gonna do at detox? Like they're not gonna do anything for me. Like all I need to do is sleep and eat. Like so I was like, I can do that at home. Like no big deal. Like, and I was ashamed. I was so ashamed. I didn't want to go, like, because then I have to admit that I have a problem again. You know what I mean? Like, And it's,
Totally. And that's so challenging because it's like, I don't want to say admitting failure because it's not a failure, but like,
no, but
that's for me, I'd feel like that. I'd be
yeah.
like, oh, like,
And especially like in our small community, right? Like,
oh yeah.
everybody talks and when I'm actively using, I am ashamed and I am like, I don't want people to know. And, you know, it's like, I literally try to make myself as small as possible. So
Yeah. Invisible.
yeah, like, I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
God. But like, once I get out of that mindset and once I realize like how good recovery and how good like sobriety fucking feels, man. It's like I want to tell everybody. Like I could care less. Who knows? Like, girl, I tell anybody. I want to scream it at the top of my lungs. Like, the feeling that I feel, like I want to bottle it up, like the hope and stuff. Like I wish I could give it to everybody. Like everybody who's I don't know.
I love that so much. I love that so much. It's just so beautiful. Like, that's so poetic. I'm like, yes, bottle that up, share that. I love that.
I really wish that I could. Like, if people really only knew how good I felt now, like versus where I was.
With your detox experience, like, do you mind telling like what they did for, like, what kind of things they did to help you? Or
So, I went to Fredericton Detox. I didn't go here. I got a friend to drop me off. The first day it was a little bit blurry because I was still using the first day. So when I went in, it was pretty much, they said like, here's your room. You can sleep, you can come out and eat, you can do whatever. But I went in and I slept the whole afternoon. Yeah. So the next day it was kind of like still pretty laid back. They didn't really ask me to do too much. So I was still getting kind of used to everything. And that was like I went in on a Thursday afternoon. So Friday day, I went out for breakfast. I went back to my room. I slept pretty much like the Friday was pretty much just wake up, eat, sleep, go back to bed and whatever. But as the days kept going on, they would have 3 meetings a day. So breakfast, 10 o'clock meeting, lunch, 3 o'clock meeting, and then a meeting in the afternoon. So our meetings were either like a group, like whoever was in the detox with me, they would take us out and they would do like a presentation about signs of relapse, or, you know, like how to better cope with life. Like, you know, or we would go to like an NA or AA meeting on Skype, Zoom, actually, sorry. Or we would just sit there and have a group discussion.
Right. And did you find the discussions helpful, like having the support of others?
Yes. Like, it's so, support in recovery is so important. Like, you need a support system. And it's really, really sad because when I left, there was 7 of us there and only me and one other gentleman had a home to go to.
Oh my God.
Like 5 other people had no support, 0 support. Like,
that hurts my heart. You're so Mal is so, you were saying earlier how you were in like selfish mode. I never see that when I look at you. You're so caring and kind to me and so sweet and feely, like, so I can imagine how you must have felt in that moment. Like it's so heartbreaking.
And that's reality, right? Like, and that was only a small percentage of people that I met, like, that are trying to get help. Like, I wanted to take everybody home. You know, come stay with me, come stay at my house. Like, I'll feed you. Like, we'll go on the river. Like,
oh my God, that'd be the best therapy. So good. The nature, Mother Earth, like the food, all the good vibes. Yes.
I can't believe I waited this long. But obviously I wasn't ready, right? Like,
that's right. Divine timing for everything. And like, one thing I find I do it too. Sometimes I look back, I'm like, I'm like, why did I stay in that position so long? Or why, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? That's how long my spirit needed in that situation. And look where we are now, right? And I wouldn't take back anything in my life because we're here.
This is where we are today, right? Like, I'm not ashamed that I'm an addict anymore. Like, I really, I think it's so important to be open and honest and to let people know, like, this is who I am, like, you know, take it or leave it kind of thing. I'm not a bad person. Like, I know I'm not a bad person.
Not even a little. Not even a little.
Like,
no, you're beautiful inside and out.
And like, it's just addiction has such a like a negative
Stigma.
Right? Like
100%. People judge.
Oh, I know. And it's like,
it's so frustrating. And that's like, even living here in Vancouver, like there's a large homeless population. And when I drive by like Hastings Street, it is something to see. It's like very, I think it's just because there's so many people in one area. It's very eye-opening. And I am so intrigued by these people because I'm like, what's your story? I'm like, how'd you get here? Because there's always a story. It starts somewhere. It's like, and I find addiction too is generally, it's like a trauma response. That's not, you know, like, because again, people judge these people and look and they're like, oh, and think they're better than. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, nobody's better than anyone. One. Two, you don't know that person. You don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through. This might be the way they're coping right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's it, right? Like, and this is why I am open and honest, and I'm trying to let people know, you know, like, just all addicts. When I was using, I never woke up and was like, oh, I'm going to get super high today. Like, I can't wait. Like,
yeah, that's my goal for the day.
My goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, every day I woke up and I'm like, I fucking hate my life. I don't want to use today, but here I am, like, getting high, like, because I couldn't not get
It's like
high.
a cycle. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was.
Sure.
And it is hard to break. Like, it's so hard. Like, I wanted to quit for probably a solid 3 or 4 months. Like, in my head, I was like, okay, like, I'm tired of this. Like, I don't want this anymore. But I'd still wake up every day and just chase the drug and like the same.
That high. No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like any habit in life. Like, even people, you know, if maybe they want to start going to the gym or something, to take those first steps to go into the gym, it's so hard. And I bet you so many people, I'm just using that as an example, but like have thought about it for maybe even years before they actually go do it. So yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of there, because it's breaking any habit. It's very challenging.
And like, going back to the detox part, like, oh my God, what an experience. Like,
yeah.
I loved all of it. I loved everything about it. And I wish I would have done this a lot sooner for myself. It's a safe place for me to rest. I knew my kids were, because I have 2 beautiful kids. Oh my God. They're so old too. Oh
I think your daughter and I are birthday twins, May 11th, right?
Yes.
We are birthday twins.
Girl.
Yes.
She got her nails done today, actually. And she's like, not a morning person, but her appointment was at like 11:45. Like, and she was sitting there like all grumpy, and I'm just like, oh God. Like, how can you be grumpy when you're getting your nails done? Like,
you're looking fly.
But so yeah, she's 11 this year. She turned 11, and my son's going.
It's her champagne birthday.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And my son's going to be 13.
Okay, what?
A 13, a teenager.
You know what I was just thinking of? I know this is so random, but I can still remember this video. It was when Aiden was a baby. It was the cutest fucking video I've ever seen. It's when you had the bubble gum and you kept popping it, and he was laughing so hard. I love that video. It popped in my head today when I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I believe he's going to be, is 13 or turning? Oh, those cheeks.
And his eyes, he's like me, right? Like my daughter looks more like Dave's side of the family, and he, like, as soon as he smiles, his eyes are just like little slits. Oh my God, he's so cute. Like, my daughter's beautiful too, but I mean, like, so I forget where I was going with that.
Oh, you were saying you knew they were looked after, like, when you
yeah. So like, so when I was there, all I had to do was just focus on myself, like, just focus on myself, rest. I got so much sleep. I guess, okay, it's not funny, but I kind of joke about it just because I can laugh.
Humor is also healing. I think you
Like,
can finally make light of things in
yeah,
your life that once were really hard. I think that's growth. I like that.
So I was in the detox for 7 full days. I know I ate more in those 7 days than I did in the last 6 months. Like,
Wow.
oh my God, I gained 10 pounds and I'm like, I don't even care. Like,
No, give me the
I feel
food.
good. Like, more cushion for the cushion.
That's right. I love those words. Yes.
Right. So, yeah, so I would 100% like recommend, a detox of some sort. And I plan on, I've never done a rehab, but I plan on doing one. I'm not sure when, but I would like to go. I would like to experience it. And I know it's going to help me like so much. Like just, I know I feel good now, but I know just working on myself that much more is going to benefit me. Like there's nothing bad that's going to come out of it. And I would like to experience it for sure. Well, because like when I first got clean, like in 2020, and I felt so amazing for like the first probably like 14 months. I was like, God damn, I'm never going back to this drug. Like, fuck this. Like, this is my life. Like, I'm amazing. I'm never going to relapse. I thought I was going to be one of the lucky ones that walked into the meetings and never walked out, never had to come back in, right? So life happened and slapped me in the face and was like, bitch, do your work.
Yeah. It loves to do that, eh?
Right?
Like, excuse me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. But this time around, like, I don't wake up and I don't think about it anymore, which is
That's
like
amazing.
a miracle. It's a miracle. Like, I feel so fucking good today. Like,
I love that.
Like, it is just a one day at a time. Like, that's all I can do. That's like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use today. And that's all I have. Like my mother, she's very, she's worried about me, obviously, because like I'm her baby and this is like,
that's right.
You know, I would worry about my kid if my kid was an addict as well. But she's like, well, like, are you going to do this? Or like, what about if, because she gets worried about me if I go out. And not that I put myself in situations like that are dangerous for me, but if I do go out to eat for supper or go to a bar or something, which doesn't happen very often, like, but I make sure that I have I drive myself because I don't want to get stuck somewhere that's right. I'm going to be uncomfortable.
And just FYI for people where we live, everything is quite spread out. Like you need to have a car or drive or you will get stuck and the taxis and stuff are not to be depended on there. So yeah, when we say like you don't want to get stuck, it's not like Vancouver. You can call an Uber. That doesn't exist. So
yeah. So I don't know. It's just I feel really good. Like today, like the last 6 weeks, I'm like, why did I wait so long? But at the same time, like I'm super cautious about feeling too good because my addiction is so like it's always there and it always wants to see me fail and like just waiting for me to like fuck up, like, you know, and then it's gonna dig its fucking nasty claws in and put me down. So right. So
I'm back or I'm here.
Like it's never gonna go away for me. I always have to work on myself every day, but
do you have a morning routine or do you have like specific things you make sure you do every day or what do you do for yourself?
Well, I wake up every morning, I have my coffee and I smudge. So I have like my smudge bowl, my sage, and I pray for myself. I pray for everybody who's still actively using. I pray for my family. Very short, very quiet, but it's, man, it's just, whew.
So beautiful. I love that. Like I said, I'm very spiritual. So I feel like that is so powerful.
So then in the evenings before bed, it's like sometimes it's like a 5-minute thing. Sometimes it's a 10-second thing, but it's like, okay, I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for waking up today clean. You know, I'm grateful for my kids being happy and healthy and for my family, for my kids' family. Oh my God, those planning.
Oh, I know, right? They're such beautiful people.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what I would do without them. Honestly, they've helped me, like, even though Dave and I aren't together anymore, he's done so much for me, like, and the kids, you know, like helped me through my dark times. And Paula and Kelly and Terry, they're just, I don't know where I would be without them too, right? Like, they've helped raise my kids when Kelly, especially Kelly's helped raise
auntie.
Like when I wasn't there, like when I wasn't mentally whatever there, she stepped up and took care of them for me, and I'm forever grateful for her and for them.
And like that's the support, right? Like that never ending, never judging, just there. We need those people. Like those are like I call them like our earth angels. Like we need that support. And I feel like as a humankind, like I even know, just even from pandemic, like even I isolated myself and I knew that wasn't healthy for me. I was like, oh, okay, no. Like it makes it harder to reach out when you isolate too much. It's like, so yeah, it's definitely a balancing act. But I feel like if anyone out there listening does feel like alone, reach out, like even to Mal, anyone, like reach out because that's support.
I'm so non-judgmental. Like I'm so, because I've been through it all, and I know what it's like to feel all of these nasty feelings. But like you need, like, support is so, it's one of and the foundations, right? Like you need the strong support system, in my opinion. And
I agree. And like any like AA, you were saying like that you have a sponsor, or even your detox, you have someone you check in with. That's support.
Oh my gosh, actually the detox called me 4 weeks after I got out, and like just to check up on me. I thought that was so amazing.
That's awesome. No, that's so good.
So cool. Like, I thought it was really nice for them to do that.
It is. And like I feel like even like you're saying, you're like not judgmental, and because you've been through it all, I feel like even without that, you're just who you are. You're always welcoming. Like it's true. Like you always made me feel welcome and safe, and like, you know what I mean? Like I belonged, and it just, I'm always grateful for that. Like, it's nice when you can feel like someone's like a warm hug. And I feel like that's what Mal feels like as a person. Like, it's true. No. And like, I agree though, when you have been through things and like you feel things, I feel that deeply. I don't want yes, everyone has their journey, everyone's going to feel, but I don't wish that upon anyone.
Yeah.
Like if I could help in any way, I want to be that. So I agree with you there. And that's what I hope for this podcast, is to reach people so we can realize we're not alone. We're all walking each other home.
Right.
We need to all just kind of get on each other's level and just love each other. Like, that's it, right?
100%. Like it's crazy. Like I went out for supper, for lunch with like a coworker of mine. And I haven't seen her for a little while because I had taken some time off of work just to get my shit together. Anyways, I kind of spilled out a lot of shit that was going on like in the last few months, and just like I met her in the bathroom after we ate, and she was like, holy fuck, like like that was a lot, Mal. Like, and I'm like, that's only like a quarter maybe of what I was, like, so
a piece of it.
Like, and like I was pretty, like I was pretty careful not to like throw out too much, because like my life was actually like a shit show, like compared to where I am today. Like I'm just like, what the fuck, like, and it's crazy that it only took like I 11 months. I was using for 11 months this time around, and to see where my life was 8 weeks ago versus today, you know. And it's a very short time, and I have so much further to go, right, in my recovery. Like I'm still very, very fresh in recovery this time around, but I don't know, like I just, look at me, I can't stop smiling.
I know, this is amazing. It's like the rebirth, and it's always, I love the butterfly or like the lotus as like a symbol, because it's like you come through the darkness, you get through the muck, and you emerge. And you know, life's always gonna, like we said, slap you in the face. It's gonna throw you curveballs. That's life. But when you have the tools to navigate, that's how we get stronger and we get better. And by sharing our stories and being open, because it also holds you accountable. It's like, I'm open about this. Well, no.
Yeah.
which way am I going to go today? So I think that's great. And I also loved what you said about the gratitude. Like, do you write, some people do journaling, gratitude journals. Some people, like you said, just before bed or just in your day. If I see the sun is shining, I'm like grateful for you.
Oh my goodness. Like the smallest things, like I'm grateful for it doesn't have to be big things, right?
No,
like it really doesn't have to be big things. Like I remember I used to struggle in my early recovery a few years ago. My first sponsor used to get me to write down like 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I'm like, fuck, like I don't know, like, you know, this is hard. Like, but as my recovery went on, you know, it's like, fuck, I'm grateful for the vehicle. I'm grateful for like the coffee. I'm grateful for breakfast. I'm grateful for a bed, a comfortable bed. Like, you know, just the small, tiny little things. It doesn't have to be these big extravagant things. Like, and then your
it's like the little things.
Yeah, like it changes everything. Like when I'm actively using, I'm not a grateful person. I'm selfish, and I'm worried about myself, my next fix. Like, nothing else really matters. But when I got a clean head on my shoulders, I'm like, it's so different. Like I'm a different person, and I love who I am today. And I love myself back then too. But it's different.
It's totally different feels for sure. And like, because who you are to your core is not a selfish person. Like I literally never associate that word with you ever. So I feel like, you know, when you're, you know, sober and in your alignment, that's when your true self shines and your soul is like, fuck yeah, here I am. Right. I'm awesome. Like, there's no like veil hiding my light. It's just the light is shining. There's no more sunglasses on. Like it's there.
Like I don't have to make myself small anymore. Like and I'm literally like I'm very public on Facebook. Like and I'm like it's not just the good days. Like it's also the shit days. Like, you know,
those are the most powerful.
Well, I'm human, right? And like I'm not perfect, and I don't strive for perfection. No, that's unattainable, and it's ridiculous.
That's right. There's no such thing as perfect.
Right? It's progress, and I'm a work in progress, and that's all. Like, I mean, we're all human, and we all make mistakes, and we all fuck up. But it's just how we learn, how we decide to deal with it, and
absolutely. That's right. It's like how you navigate. Like we all have a choice at the end of the day. It doesn't mean it's easy to make those choices, but you know, sometimes on the really challenging days, I feel like that's the most rewarding when you do make the right choice for you, whatever that is.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I know there's been days where I actually had my first drug dream the other day. My first drug dream. But and it was like I woke up and I'm like, fuck, like I felt like shit. I'm like, oh my God, like, here we go. But it didn't consume me. Like, and I just, you know, these thoughts, like, I still do think about using. But it's not as powerful as it was. It used to be. I let the thought like go through my head, and I deal with it. And I'm like, okay, like, I thought about it. And then I think about, okay, well, this is what's going to happen if I do decide to pick up. And there's no, I'm just going to use today. You know, there's not that for me. Like it's impossible for me. And
because it's all or nothing.
Right. Like it's go big or go home. Like,
that's right. So, and it's like, I find too with our thoughts, like we, again, choose, do we let those be the deciding, because we have thoughts all day long, and we, as humans, like everybody has weird thoughts, and like everyone has stuff go through their brain that they're probably like, I hope nobody knows what I just thought there, because it's like, you know, we all do. It's just the way our brains are made up. And it's our choice, though, if we allow ourselves to open that thought and become obsessed with it, or just let it keep on going. Yeah.
And that's the word, obsessed. Like it's compulsive and obsessive. And once you allow your thoughts to get to that point, it's like, fuck, it's too late.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I can relate. Like if I will obsess a lot sometimes, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I'm like, you're only hurting yourself right now. Nobody else like in your brain obsessing with you. It's just you. So, you know, and but again, like as humans, like when we're so used to a habitual thought going this way, it takes a lot of work to reprogram your neurological pathway. So that's why like all these things Mal's talking about, but your mindset, your gratitude statements, things like that, how you choose to start your day and what you choose to focus on. Those are all, it's like working a muscle at the gym. That's how you train it to get better and go in a different way. It's like at the gym. It's not overnight. You're not going to get the big muscles overnight. It's a time process, right? It takes time. So
Like
give your brain time. With that?
I said, like, I eat a salad and I want to be skinny tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, why? But that's the instant gratification part, right? Like, all good things you have to work for, in my opinion.
I agree.
Really, like, just like those instant fixes or whatever. Like, it's just, there's no such
just simply
thing.
that. It's literally an instantaneous, like feel good sensation, and then it's gone. It's like, it's not a fulfilling thing. It's just a quick little, little boost there. Yeah.
But like, I
we
wanted
wanted
back to the gym and
yes, I saw that.
I know, and I feel so fucking good. Like, oh God.
Val is a strong girl. Also, we used to CrossFit together, and she got some weight, guys. Like, ooh. It was like them legs, girl.
It's those endorphins that I'm just like, no drug could give me that. No drug could give me that amazing feeling of lifting a heavy ass fucking weight. And like, I'm just like, damn. Like, I'm 5'2", but holy shit.
All but like
that way? Like,
yeah, she did. Like I literally used to have my jaw on the floor. Like, what did she just lift? Like, but I agree. I love that you said that about movement. Like Max says this a lot. Movement is medicine, but it's so true. Like those endorphins are natural endorphins from your body, and like even for me with my mental health, I have to exercise or I can see it affect my life.
Yeah, for sure. Like, after I had Leah, it was 2012, and I was right hardcore into the gym. It was like it was my obsession. It was my addiction. It was to the point where I was going like 9 times a week. And Brad was like, you need to give your muscles time. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you need to give your muscles time to like heal. And I'm like, don't fucking tell me what to do. Like, I'm 3 times a day. Like,
watch me come even more.
but that was my addiction at the time. So
yeah, that's it, right? And like that's the thing in life, everything's moderation. Everything is needs what's that?
I'm gonna bring my daughter on for a second.
Yes,
I
my birthday twin.
So beautiful.
Yes, and show me the nails.
Oh, and she got her pretty hot pink nails on.
Oh, I love hot pink.
That's my baby.
Hey, you're my birthday twin, May 11th. Yes. Let me see your nails. Pink? Ooh, yes, I love pink. Love.
Beautiful.
So pretty.
That's my baby.
You're on a podcast / YouTube video, Leah.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? I love it. The whole gang's here.
Right? Aiden's probably home in bed, like Xboxing, but.
Yep. Teenager stuff.
Right.
I love that so much. Do you have any final words of wisdom you want to share with us?
I was thinking about this for a while, and I don't really have like quotes or anything, but I'm just like, if anybody like is struggling, like, please don't be ashamed. Don't let that, because I mean, your shame only grows in like the darkness, right? So you let it out, you open up about it, and like I want everybody to feel what I feel, and I think it's so important to tell people your story and not be ashamed and fucking own it, like, because this is me, this is who I am, like,
this is my truth, and this is what's up, and legit, I can't say it enough. This is how we connect and become compassionate for each other, because like this is not a dark, gross thing. This is a thing. It's just a thing that is life, and it's something that we can share with each other and grow from and learn from, and that way, again, we just become more as one, and it's awesome. So I love that.
I love this. Like, I love
yes.
You had asked me to do this because, man, I want everybody to be more aware, like, right? Like, Addiction is so
Absolutely.
real. Addiction has like, it doesn't care if you're like 17 or
Nope.
74, like it has no boundaries, and it's just,
That's
it
right.
affects anybody, and it affects so many people, and so many people don't ask for help or don't reach out for help because of this terrible stigma that all of us
The
addicts.
shame.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It's so true. And when we open the doors to the discussion, that's how we can help more people and educate more people. So then it's not a stigma and it's not
Right.
like a taboo thing. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is just life. This is just a thing that happens and we're going to talk about it.
Right. Oh God, I love that.
uh, I love that. And yeah, everyone listening, Mal shares the most beautiful, awesome posts. Like she'll write like very detailed, like it's very inspiring to read. And I love keeping up with her Facebook. Actually, yeah, do you want to plug in how people can reach you if they
Sure.
feel called to?
So it's mostly just Facebook. So it's just
Oh,
Mallory Paul. You can look me up.
perfect.
It's like a public profile. So
Yeah.
I'm easy to find. Send me a message. I'm really nice. I don't bite.
She'll be that warm hug for you.
Yes, honestly. Um,
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I love sharing stories like yours, and I just want to connect the world. And like I said, less judgment, more compassion, people.
right.
Like, let's remember we are one. We are one together. And we got one go at this life, and we might as well make it a good one, right?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Well, that is our tea time for today, everyone. If you'd like to connect with Mal, I will have everything linked on YouTube. It'll be in the description box below. If you're listening via podcast, everything will be linked on my Instagram. And I did start a Facebook page for the Tea Drinkers. So if you're more of a Facebook person, we are over there now too. So Mal will be tagged. There won't be any problem finding her. And I just want to thank you again for joining us. I know there'll be people out here listening that will resonate. So wishing love and light to you all as always. And we will see you next time.